It's too late, bro.
God damn it.
It's
Did
too
you really?
late, bro. I hit the button. Yes, everyone heard you say that just now.
Oh.
What are you trying to do, man?
I was trying to adjust my settings to make sure that you know what,
And
it's
that
fine.
was important enough to make everyone wait another 35 seconds.
Yes. Generally,
All right.
when you make an omelet, you want to make sure you get all the. Never mind.
Yeah,
Well,
never mind is good.
never
We're gonna
mind.
go with never mind. Okay. Hey guys, what's up? We're sorry, we're a little bit late. It was actually my fault at first, and then it was his fault. So it was a combination of faults tonight. I was traveling from Florida all day to get here, and I was supposed to get here several hours earlier, but I got stuck in Texas where the weather is shit right now, as everyone can tell.
Oh yeah.
So I was
How is
stuck
the
on a
weather over there?
tarmac for I was stuck on a tarmac for about 3 hours. So that put me back because I was supposed to fly into Phoenix and then drive here.
Why not just fly direct to Phoenix? What's with the layovers?
There's no direct to Phoenix from Jacksonville.
Oh really? That
Right.
sounds like a Florida problem.
Everything's a Florida problem.
I
For
don't know
me.
what to tell you.
Omar. I don't know what you want me to say to that. Like, yeah. No, so I got caught up in Houston for, I was a few hours on the tarmac, and then I changed my last destination. So my bag isn't here yet because it got on a different flight. So I have to go back to the airport in an hour to pick it up.
I know where my bag is.
And then I have to work at 4:30 in the morning. So
yikes. Oh,
yeah,
that East
yikes
Coast
is
time.
Wow,
I don't know
really,
how you're going to do it.
you really fixed those sound settings, Chris, because that yikes came through loud and clear.
Is my sound up too high? Maybe it is.
No. You're perfect. You're perfect.
Oh.
Don't worry about it. Not like personality wise, but audio wise.
Among other things.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Elstrich might be popping in for a minute, but we'll see what she says. Hold on.
Is she going to be in Arizona for the thing?
No, she's on the East Coast.
Oh, well, I guess that makes sense. I was going to say, well, I'm on the West Coast, but never mind.
I know that. Yeah. Okay. So Omar asked me right before we started, what are we talking about? Because that's how this usually goes. And so he said something about he knew the motion to compel was granted for Van Zandt, but I actually hadn't gotten his thoughts on that. So why don't we start with that? What was your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, it was pretty obvious they were going to grant it. I was actually kind of nervous to make the prediction. Like, obviously, the judge is going to grant the motion to compel because why wouldn't he? But every time I'd said that, like for the last 3 times in this case, it just hadn't gone that way. And so, thankfully, as expected, it was granted. So the ramifications of this motion is enormous. Like, I don't think that you understand how big this could potentially be.
You think I don't understand that?
I mean,
bro, who are you talking to right
I don't think that you understand. Like, I don't think that some lawyers understand how big this could be. Look, there's been a lot of talk.
This is my fucking Super Bowl. What are you talking about?
Yes, it is. All I'm saying is I've seen a lot of people gloss right over this, but I think that as it pertains to Doe lawsuits, here's what happened. If you follow Anita's theory, which I do, and if she's in the chat, by the way, I need to get her back on to talk about some stuff
tonight. But we're late tonight, so maybe she's asleep.
Well, it's her. She's probably waking up. If this is her morning time. What was I going to say? If they initiated this Doe lawsuit with this shell corporation that was used to buy furniture once. They didn't have officers. They didn't have CEOs. They didn't.
I'm so happy that you know that. It just makes me happy. I don't know.
They it was a Doe lawsuit, and the contents of it was a breach of contract. There was some kind of whatever. Turns out it was bullshit. Well,
you breached the contract with a British fucking furniture company. That's all they ordered.
Here's what we suspect happened. Look, so those messages that were taken from Abel, that were strong-armed away from her via whatever security team that they had doing their bidding. What's interesting is this. They argued 2 sides of this. They were entitled to whatever was on her phone. If she was putting personal shit on a business phone, that's her fault. If we had access to iClouds, it's because like she was given that access through whatever. If that was the case, they wouldn't have had no reason to subpoena anything, right? So the fact that they initiated a Doe lawsuit is because they obtained that evidence. They realized some of that evidence was tainted, and this was going to be a way to launder it, otherwise called an abuse of process. That is in and of itself a separate cause of action. If these facts come to light, if these communications are produced, and it's as Neidigh has theorized this entire time, it means that they caught wind that Justin Baldoni and the Wayfarer parties were gearing up for a civil extortion lawsuit because of all of the things that were leading up to that point in time, August of 24. And rather than wait for the lawsuit to hit, they use it to file the December 24 CRD. But they based it off of illegally obtained evidence and gave it color of law with the Van Sham lawsuits, legitimizing it. Now, to their credit, they make reference to some, the secret subpoena in their initial pleadings. We didn't know what they were talking about before, but it was this. So if these facts come to light and Judge Lyman does nothing, this is going to have severe ramifications going long past this Lively case. It's going to mean that you can do whatever you want, abuse the process to get fake subpoenas, to get whatever evidence that you might have already illegally obtained, whatever you need to launder in terms of evidence, go for it. Because back in Lively v. Reynolds, they let it happen then, and they said, hey, it was fair game, whatever. Now, if they don't do anything, well, if they do what they should, because here's what happens. They turned over the evidence obtained from that subpoena to Lively and Reynolds and their entire team, and they used it basically to file the lawsuit, right? If they did that, they breached fiduciary duties. They broke several different laws.
Both her lawyers and Stephanie Jones' lawyers have confirmed that they did, in fact, do that. So they just don't see a problem with it, apparently. I don't believe that. That's the thing.
So if they make that argument and Judge Lyman does nothing, then fuck. What are we doing anymore?
If that happens, I'm going to have a very hard time not agreeing with everyone who says there's a serious problem here.
What should happen is that evidence that was used and referenced in the initial pleadings should be made inadmissible. And what does it mean? What are we really talking about? We're talking about communications that were supposed to be evidence of a smear campaign against Blake Lively. That's all it is. If the judge sees this as an abusive process, sanctions, make those text messages inadmissible, not a big deal. If he does nothing, the ramifications are enormous. And that's where I thought we were going with this tonight. So that's what I was prepared to talk about.
No, but happy to start out there. Also, Missy says, I'm always torn between Lauren and Omar. This is like a group hug. You shouldn't feel torn between us.
It's a big group squash hug.
Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
I don't know where I was going with that. It's a big group hug, like you said.
That's everyone who just listened to this should feel sexually harassed. Like that was gross.
Oh, never mind.
Don't file a CRD complaint, please. All right. Anyway, sorry. I guess I should have prepared you a little better for what we were going over tonight. But no,
you just said, "Hey, we're talking about discovery shit." I was like, "Oh, good. I'm all up to date on that."
That's like that's so yesterday, man.
Yeah.
There's always something new every day. So.
And I know that their content creator subpoena is off and running, and so
apparently there's going to be a second round. I think that's speculation, but I've heard Billy Bush mentioned. I've heard Megyn Kelly mentioned. I think that would be a huge mistake to subpoena Megyn Kelly. You do not want to set off Megyn Kelly any more than you already have. Oh my! Do not.
I mean, my personal opinion on that. I don't think they're going to get anywhere. I think all of those subpoenas are quashable.
Stupid.
I'm starting to believe. I'm buying into this narrative that it's Ryan Reynolds that is desperately looking for some kind of meat on the bone for his bullshit accusations of a smear campaign. I don't know.
I call it 50-50. I think they both suck. So.
Without a crystal ball, I had this theory. I haven't watched her video, but I saw where she was making a thing about Reynolds catching wind of some kind of an affair, or what he suspected was an affair between her and Lively, which I was going to watch. I just haven't had time all day to sit down and do YouTube stuff. But that's something that I've been tracking really since December. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go over the document that came out today. So this was, I don't know if you saw, they were trying to, Stephanie Jones and Blake Lively did a joint filing to try to kind of change the deadlines on a lot of this stuff for the discovery and for, I think, depositions. I'm not sure what it was, but we'll read it and find out for sure.
Somebody said that my forehead is really shiny. I just want to point out for the record, I was doing jiu-jitsu with the girls a little bit earlier, and we were building.
The girls are like this big. You shouldn't be splitting.
Yeah, but there's two of them, and they go in different directions and stuff. And
you would have gotten more sympathy from me if you said you were doing jiu-jitsu with Nugget. I mean, but all
they're
right,
getting pretty good.
Yeah,
well,
good.
Yeah, one of them is. The other one wants to quit. We had to have a whole lesson about
which one
what it
wanted to
means to be a Oli. She got really frustrated. I can't do it, and then she just wanted to storm out of practice, and I had to give her the whole dad.
No, it'll be fine. I'll come back over there and I'll let her kick my ass, and then she'll want to do it all the time. It's fine.
There it is. That's the secret.
Absolutely, that's all I'm good for.
That's all they do to me.
I believe that. Okay. Anyways, let me pull this up. That is. I gotta find the right layout here. When I'm on my laptop, I'm not on top of it the way I am. Okay. Is that like large enough, or should we make it bigger?
No. Why, do you want me to read it?
No. I'm just saying.
Oh, well, I can see it. Now I can't because it's behind my face. There you go.
That's disappointing.
How do you even do that?
I will show you at a later time when we are not in front of a bunch
Live?
of people. Right? Yeah. Okay. You know what? I will, because this one is only 4 pages and the next one is a lot longer. I will let you read this one and then I'll do the next one because it's
fair
a lot
enough.
Spaced out as well and easier to read. So, and you know what to skip over here. So
yeah. Wait, what is it? What letter is this? Like, what is this about?
This is an opposition to their motion to amend the schedule. So they want to not amend, but change the schedule. Basically, they want an extension on some of this stuff.
Oh,
the deadlines.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it should not be granted.
Hey, Elsie, what's up?
What's up, Elsie?
How long have you been sitting back there, dude? I'm sorry. I just told you.
Look, I never have time to come on here at night, but this fucking shit. Oh, can I say that?
I mean, you said it.
I'm so sorry. But
No. You absolutely should lead with that.
I am so sorry, but I know we've had a lot of funny, we've had a lot of funny memos. This shit took me out.
Oh my gosh. Omar hasn't seen it yet, so we're about to
You haven't?
I'm reading this in real time.
I text Lauren as soon as no. We were dying on the text chain. I was like, no, this is too much. I have to get on this live right now.
I was stuck on the plane and they were all texting me they were sending me screenshots of this shit and I was like, oh my God. And I couldn't do anything because I was stuck.
It is pure comedy. Okay. I actually have like 5 minutes until my son figures out because he took a late nap, which means he's not going to bed till like 2 a.m. So
we'll just let him listen to Omar's voice and
I left him with his father. They're like in the other room. He's gonna figure it out in about 5 minutes. So we have until he figures this shit out.
Right,
he comes.
Let's get into this shit a little bit.
Am I reading it or I am? You just said
yes.
that. Okay,
I'll do
as
the next
counsel
one.
for Wayfarer Studios, Justin Baldoni, Jamie Heath, Steve Sarowitz, the parties. All right. Last week, Miss Lively referred to Jones Works as a co-conspirator of various Wayfarer parties. Miss Lively and Miss Jones, 2 alumni of the Van Zandt subpoena scheme. I like that. Have apparently now realigned to jointly seek to delay their respective depositions. Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 16b4 provides that a schedule may be modified only for good cause and with the judge's consent. What was their good cause statement? Like,
Elsie, you want to take this one? Elsie,
this entire thing, and so this is the first time I kind of noticed who wrote it. This guy's named Kevin Fritz, right? And I looked him up. He looks so savage in the picture, like he just looks like a good family man. To think that these words came out of him and the savagery, I'm like, Kevin, I like you.
Well, let's get into that point. I mean, nobody's friends with anybody anymore.
Is this Kevin Fritz? Hang on.
Yeah, Kevin wrote that. No, this is not Kevin Fritz.
Where's Kevin? Oh, that's him.
That's Kevin.
There's Kevin.
Oh yeah, that guy looks like a politician.
That's Kevin. He looks like he would put.
That is the lawyerist looking lawyer I've ever seen.
He has the I grew up with an kind of household. I'm a lawyer starter pack.
Yeah, it's the lawyer starter pack for sure.
Oh my God.
Kids probably wear vineyard
looks like that. You're probably pretty confident, Well, in the context of a request for the modification of discovery schedule, that often means a showing by the movement that despite due diligence, it could not have reasonably meet the scheduled deadlines. Now, there was a motion like this, and Judge Lyman said, yeah, the hell with your reasons. You haven't shown good cause. Extension denied. I'm expecting this to get denied, but let's see. The party seeking an extension should demonstrate that it exercised diligence in conducting discovery by describing what discovery it conducted in the time period originally scheduled, and that there are circumstances that were not foreseen at the time of the order sought to be modified, nor the party's fault that gave rise to the request for the extension. Neither Miss Lively nor the Jones parties have been diligent in scheduling depositions. Miss Lively has not served notices of depositions for any of the Wayfarer parties except for Tag, and for that one, Miss Lively canceled Tag's deposition. She canceled it.
Yeah, that's a little fucking weird. Elsie, you've read the whole thing. As far as the Tag deposition, did they explain that one or not?
They didn't explain it. It just says they canceled it. And the funny thing is, remember the call they had like 2 weeks ago? They were like, they need to depose Tag. They need to depose the Tag employees. We're gonna schedule it. You are so enthusiastic about it. What happened? Oh, he figured it out. Shit.
Oh no!
I'm pretend I can't hear him. It's okay.
That's all right. The Wayfarer parties took the initiative, proposed various dates for their own depositions. Nonetheless, Miss Lively's counsel has not confirmed those deposition dates. Okay. Has not claimed that they're unavailable to conduct the depositions on those dates, and has not proposed alternative dates. And by the way, that happens all the time. Hey, I can't do it on July 11th, but I can do it on July 23rd, 27th, August 8th, August 13th. You always give dates.
Oh, that's always. Not exactly how this went, but let's.
They haven't given them any alternatives. They're just like, we can't do your date. That's it.
Oh, that's preposterous.
I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but Stephanie Jones was basically just like, no, and then refused to provide another date.
I don't want to give it away.
Cancel it. I have no other dates. All right.
It gets better. Keep going. It gets better.
If Miss Lively's counsel prefers other dates for the Wayfarer parties' depositions, they should, as requested of them, more than once, identify such dates rather than uncooperatively complain that the Wayfarer parties have not explained their unavailability on other unspecified dates. Given that Miss Lively has failed to serve any deposition notices, she should not complain about the sequence of depositions. As for Miss Jones, she was duly served with a notice of deposition, claims that she is unavailable on the date noticed, and refused to provide an alternative date. Nonetheless, because Miss Lively and the Jones parties,
psychic to tell her when she's available, man.
Obstructive tactics have made the existing deadline for the completion of deposition untenable. August 14th. Oh, I didn't realize there was a deposition deadline.
That's what they're trying to push. They're trying to push everything to September 30th and after.
The Wayfarer parties have no objection to an extension of such deadline to, for example, September 30th, 2025. With respect to outstanding requests for production and interrogatories, the parties should respond and or object thereto. However, the Wayfarer parties object to an extension of the document production deadline to July 25, 2025. The crux of the motion is that an extension of the fact discovery deadline in the case management plan and scheduling order is needed because Miss Lively and the Jones parties only recently received footage of It Ends With Us, which notably Miss Lively credits herself as having edited and thus reviewed. Miss Lively herself acknowledges that she requested the footage on February 20th, 2025, which was over 3 months ago, weeks after she knew from the case plan that facts discovery and depositions were to be completed by August 14th of 25. Neither Miss Lively nor the Jones parties moved to compel the production of the film footage by a date prior to the case plan's July 1, 25 deadline for substantial completion of document production. Hence, they apparently anticipated their purported need for the footage, but failed to compel an early production thereof. What's up, Stuart?
What's up, man?
Hey, I think he changed his picture.
Oh, he might have. It looks a little different, maybe.
And he got a haircut.
Stuart, you get a haircut?
I had this same haircut like 7 years ago. I used to not have any hair.
I think
he went with the full on. Yeah.
All right.
There is no prejudice to Miss Lively in receiving the footage in the weeks before or even after her deposition. The footage is recordings of incidents where either A, Miss Lively herself was present, and thus she doesn't need the video to present her case, or B, she wasn't present, and therefore such footage is irrelevant. That's a great point. Indeed, and although they have not done so, the Wayfarer parties would be justified in withholding the footage until after Miss Lively's deposition so that she cannot improperly tailor her deposition testimony to confirm thereto. I think Elsie's holding up a sign.
No, I'm trying to cover the.
Oh,
I'm trying to cover the boy's face,
Sorry.
but he's trying to be seen.
Did you want me to read that one too?
No, this was my notes earlier.
All right. Where did we leave off? Case law. Scroll up. I'm going to start with regardless. Regardless of Miss Lively's motivation for wanting the film footage, she admits she largely has it, citing unidentified public sources instead of someone with actual knowledge. Miss Lively's counsel claims that the film's footage could amount to roughly 50,000 hours of video, which I think some of you have pointed out. That's like 14 years of.
Oh, keep going. Keep going.
Like the court can take judicial notice that 50,000 hours is over 2,083 days and more than 5.5 years. We understand that the footage consists of less than 150 hours. Not only does Lively have plenty of time to review the footage prior to her July 17, 25 deposition, she is already very familiar with it because she edited it. Editing entails watching and rewatching multiple takes of the same scenes, discerning which takes and scenes to use, noting timestamps, creating different versions with different music, colors, sounds. And as the lead actress, Miss Lively memorized the scripts performed in all relevant footage. As for the Jones parties, it is unclear what relevance the film footage has to their claims for breaches of contract or the defenses thereto. In addition, Miss Lively and the Jones parties meagerly complain that the Wayfarer parties' recent, scroll down, Lauren, or up, document production deficient or has, people are going to get mad at me because I didn't say thank you. So thank you, Lauren. I just know, it's in the comments. I could already see it telepathically appearing.
Something about the what?
Never mind. Thank you for scrolling for me is what I meant to say. No details are provided in terms of which specific document requests are at issue, except for documents Miss Lively and the Jones parties allege are missing from the productions of Miss Abel, Miss Nathan, and Tag, and acknowledge they already possess through the underhanded Van Zandt subpoena. Notably, Miss Lively and the Jones parties have not attempted to meet and confer in good faith or otherwise with the Wayfarer parties as required by Rule 4C of the individual practices concerning any purported deficiencies in the Wayfarer parties' recent document production motion should be denied for that reason alone. The proposal is untenable. The proposal further requests that the court abandon its own discovery dispute procedures set forth in the individual practices, which all parties have efficiently used in favor of a briefing schedule starting on August 1st, 2025. In other words, the motion suggests that for the entire month of July, the parties do nothing except tee up discovery motions, regardless of whether those motions are even necessary or will ever be filed. That course of conduct will inevitably lead to the refusal to schedule or continual adjournment of depositions in July, August 2025, if there is a discovery dispute that cannot be resolved by meeting and conferring. The parties should utilize the individual practices to adjudicate them. Accordingly, the motion should be denied, except to the extent that it seeks to extend the deposition deadline to September 30th, 2025. I would happen to agree.
Okay. So I don't know.
That's an easy one.
Right. So we're going to go through like the declaration from Fritz and the emails, but I don't know if you had any over because somebody was asking for a summary, any overarching thoughts or anything like that.
Yeah, the declaration gets funnier because he kind of puts like
the declaration
bullet points, like this is what I said, this is what I said, and then the stuff you almost miss in this paragraphs like scenario where the declaration is making so like pure. And then he really he raises a question like, why does Jones need to see the video before she could do her deposition? You're not in the video. It has nothing to do with you. Your stuff is
just
contractual.
Right off the bat, my overarching thought is I think that he has it exactly right. Kevin Fritz, Lyman has already set a precedent that he's not going to extend deadlines all willy-nilly. You really got to show good cause, and they haven't demonstrated it, I don't think. Telltale sign, they just cancel depositions, don't offer alternative dates, and it's been a couple of weeks now, and they're still in the scheduling phase. That's something that should have been like the same day. Like when I reschedule depositions, like I'll reschedule it, but we'll have like a list of dates and we'll just pick one and it'll be done. And, because we're not screwing around. So the fact they're doing that and, whatever they were asking for in the first, I think that Lyman is going to deny their request, but he may extend the deposition deadline to September 30. Maybe.
Well,
or just keep it as is.
And I think probably because they said this was like a partial response, they were okay with that at least. They're like, if you want to extend it to the 30th for that portion of it, fine, we get it. I think that's what they said, but everything else we don't agree with. So I think,
but even then, that would be showing them a lot more grace than the Lively party showed them a few months ago. And so I think that they should, in Lyman's eyes, if I'm reading his rulings correctly, give them some favor in his eyes. Maybe. I think so.
But Omar, is this where Margarita starts earning her paycheck, or Margarita isn't? Did they start using Margarita now or not yet?
Oh, is that the criminal attorney?
Margarita is the one that's good with the SEC and the Alphabet Boys. Yeah, her. She's good with the grand jury and stuff.
I suspect that they've already been I suspect she's put in probably a couple hundred hours of work in this case already. Maybe behind the scenes.
I'm just gonna answer this real quick because people keep asking what I'm holding up. It's not important. My son is literally sitting. I
don't know. I see something about prom, women prom.
And you can money from my. I think that last word is weirdo.
Oh, you wrote a letter about me. That's so nice.
We're trying to read your letter, Elsie. You could just cut off the camera and just go full on audio. We do it all the time.
Let me pull this up. We're going to go through this declaration now. This is Kevin Fritz wrote this declaration, and also there's some emails at the end. We'll take a skim over. All right. I'm not going to read this part. Hang on. We're not going to read that part. That's not important. On June 4th, the Wayfarer parties duly served a notice of deposition upon Miss Lively, which noticed her deposition for June 23rd. During a telephonic meet and confer, and subsequently in writing, Miss Lively's counsel requested that the Wayfarer parties adjourn Miss Lively's deposition from June 23rd to July 17th. The Wayfarer parties agreed. A true and correct copy is the email chain, blah, 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 it's going to be in the exhibits like the last one. Okay. On June 17th, the Wayfarer parties duly served a notice of deposition upon Miss Lively, notice for July 17th. On June 17th, Wayfarer duly served a notice of deposition upon Miss Jones, which noticed her deposition for July 22nd. Thereafter, the Jones party's counsel claimed that they are not available to conduct Miss Jones' deposition on July 22nd. Sorry, let me fix this real quick. There we go. In response, I asked the Jones party's counsel to advise counsel as to when Miss Jones is available for her deposition. Counsel for the Jones parties have failed to propose an alternative date for Miss Jones' deposition. Meanwhile, Miss Lively has not served notices of deposition for any of the Wayfarer parties, except for Tag, and for that one, Miss Lively canceled Tag's deposition. The Jones parties have not served any notices of deposition for any of the Wayfarer parties. So these, I guess they gave them dates. Omar, the filing that they're responding to here, which you would not have seen before, they gave them dates, like a couple of dates per person or per party or whatever that they could do, and then they were just like, well, we're writing to the judge because these dates don't work for us, but they never gave alternative dates. It's like what they're
and then can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and then they got mad because remember in the letter they were like, the Wayfarer parties are trying to stagger and decide who goes in the order because they're like Jamie
Right.
Heath goes before Justin. They were like, well, we gave you dates. You didn't even bother responding to let us know which dates will work. What
Yeah.
we don't care who goes first or not, but these are the dates that work for us. And most of our people are not going to be in town for July. And I'm like, at this point, I don't even care if Wayfarer is telling the truth or not. If you don't try to work with us, we can do whatever we want at this point.
Honestly, if I was a judge, I would be pissed.
Same. Like, don't waste my time.
Fact. Yeah, just
well, they certainly made it sound like they were trying and failing to communicate, but they just didn't even try.
Yeah. There's a question, Omar. I mean, I know the answer because Fritz gave us the answer, but Kimberly F. I don't know if you can see Lauren. Can you be quiet for 2 seconds? I appreciate you. Thank you. Love you. Yes, Kimberly F. At 12:40 says, I love you did Fritz say, Lauren? Now you know damn well I wasn't talking to you. Kimberly F. At 12:40 asked a question. I can't put that up if you can. Did Fritz say that you would decide this moment to cough? That you would do that. Did Fritz say, really? Child, did Fritz say they could withhold the footage until after the deposition? Yes, they were not obligated to give it to the lively parties. Like there is nothing in the law that was forcing them. Mm-hmm. And you're crying now because what happened? Okay,
they didn't even ask for it.
Yeah, and you didn't compel. You chose to sit on your. Okay, thank you. I'm done. I'm not talking anymore.
All right. Anyways.
When I stop talking, he's quiet. Watch.
Oh, right.
As soon as I start talking, he cries.
I caught your game, man. I hear that. Yeah.
I mean, to answer your question, if they didn't request it and they didn't compel it, they can't cry about not receiving it. There's ways to do that.
But they're crying just like Elsie's son. They're crying just like Elsie's son is crying.
Leave my child out of this.
I can't. He keeps screaming into the microphone. All right.
You're making him cry more, Lauren.
I usually have that effect on children.
But I mean, Fritz is right. I mean, what is the great? There's no mystery with the footage. If anybody should be familiar with it, it's Lively herself. Like, there's no mystery to it. It's not this critical piece of evidence that's going to solve the big case. That's been known, for a long time now, many months. And so I am in agreement with what Fritz is saying here.
Miss Lively has refused to schedule the depositions of the Wayfarer parties. Miss Lively's counsel has not claimed that it is unavailable to depose the Wayfarer parties on the dates proposed by counsel. Miss Lively's counsel has not proposed alternative dates upon which to depose the Wayfarer parties. Instead, Miss Lively's counsel alleges they are in the middle of noticing and scheduling additional third parties for depositions. In other words, rather than scheduling the depositions of the Wayfarer parties, Miss Lively's counsel is busy allegedly subpoenaing various non-party content creators. Which they're citing Yahoo Entertainment, whatever. Okay. On July 2nd, and in accordance with Rule 4C, I met and conferred telephonically with counsel for Miss Lively and the Jones parties. During that call, and to foster the parties' completion of fact discovery within the time set forth in the case plan, I suggested that the parties A, agree that the deposition transcripts from the Lively case be used in the Jones case and vice versa. B, agree to an extension of the 7-hour limit on depositions, given that depositions will be used for both cases. And C, if necessary, consider conducting 2 depositions on the same day on both coasts, for instance, given the size and or number of law firms representing each of the parties. Neither counsel for Miss Lively nor counsel for the Jones parties objected to those proposals or explained why they were unachievable. Miss Lively and the Jones parties' refusal to timely and properly schedule depositions has made the current deadline for the completion of depositions untenable. And that was supposed to be August 14th. And therefore, the Wayfarer parties do not oppose the motion to the extent it seeks an extension of such deadline to September 30th. And they're doing 20 depositions on each side. So,
yikes. It's a lot of depos.
Right.
Have you ever sat on a deposition?
One time. It was like a Zoom call.
So wildly boring.
I mean, this one was it was not very long. It was like a minor, like a car, like a car incident case. So it was like
I think that depositions is probably my least favorite thing to do as a lawyer. I hate them so much. They're just, they're the worst. So when you say 20 depositions, I'm just like, I already have a headache already.
They also offered them. They were like, because we need to kind of depose the same people for the same lawsuits, we can share positions. But the Lively team didn't respond back to them. They were like, we gave them the option that if you don't want us to go through this over again, we can either share depositions or
Stewards are not boring.
mine are boring.
I bet Stewards are not boring. And I mean, generally, well, mine are boring because I don't know. There are definitely, I've talked about my explosive ones. Like there was this one where I almost got in like this that shouting match with like this older attorney that was way better than me when I was just this young pup, and I was at the young lawyer on the totem pole, and then they were sending me
to go back in time and watch that.
Oh gosh, but it was so much worse just because I didn't know what I didn't know, and like I just felt inferior because like of his vast knowledge, and I felt like I was getting my ass kicked, and I didn't know why, and I was getting more and more frustrated, and kept on objecting to my questions. And it got pretty heated in there, but afterwards it was cool because we became friends and it became like a mentor to me. Honestly, a lot of the way that I practice now is due to that guy kind of showing me the way. And that's just how it goes sometimes. So
did you ever depose somebody into a heart attack before?
No.
I experienced that one time at my job. At Pearson Specter Lit.
Oh my God.
Damn it, Elsie. All right.
Lewis deposed the man straight into a heart attack. The man died.
Lewis is a pussy. All right. Lewis is
Don't you dare talk about Lewis.
I love
goddamn
Lewis,
lit
but I
like
hate
that.
Lewis. I love Lewis and
You love Lewis. Everybody
but
loves
I also
Lewis.
hate
But
Lewis.
you hate him. I know.
He was a redeemable character at the end, but those
He
depositions are
blew
such
up over
bullshit.
a cat. Don't even
Those
give me
depositions,
that.
they're always over in like 2 minutes or like a minute, and somebody just walks in and they throw like this bullshit. Here, take a look at that. Whoosh. What are you gonna do now?
Caddy Castro says we need Donna, Zach, and Ashley, Brianna, Eve. Actually, I'm going to be with all three of those people tomorrow. So I have a stream in the afternoon with Ashley, Leanne, and Cassidy. Elsie, you can join us if you want. We're going to talk about, because we're all like, female content creators, we're going to talk about that New York Times misogyny slop thing. And then in the afternoon on California time, like 3 or 4 p.m., I'm going over to Donna's studio. We're going to film with Donna and Zach. So actually, I'm going to be with all those people tomorrow. So
You're fancy.
I'm tired.
Fancy.
I'm tired.
She's fancy, but then you notice on the counter she has a 7-Eleven margaritas and an 11.5-minute soup.
Bro, I don't even have a counter here. Like, what are you talking about?
I have to go see a man about a herniated disc tomorrow. Lauren, you know.
An old attorney challenged me to a fight on the record like 20 years ago. On the record, no less.
Maybe you guys were deposing the same dude or the same the guy.
I don't want to say the name of the guy that I was in the deposition with is probably retired. He's got to be. He was older. I mean, he wasn't that old. I mean, he's like 10 years ago. I don't know. Maybe. Plausible.
Fair. All right. Where were we at here? Did we get through 16 or we're on 17?
Oh, you were the reader.
Okay. To the extent Miss Lively and or the old man, whatever. To the extent that Miss Lively and or the Jones parties allege that the Wayfarer party's recent document production is deficient, Miss Lively and the Jones parties have not attempted to meet and confer in good faith or otherwise with the Wayfarer parties as required by Rule 4C. Okay. The Wayfarer parties remain ready, willing, and able to resolve any purported issues with their document production. The excuse manufactured by Miss Lively and Miss Jones for refusing to proceed with depositions is that they need time to review footage of It Ends With Us, citing unidentified public sources instead of someone with actual knowledge. Miss Lively's counsel claims the film footage could amount to roughly 50,000 hours of video. The court can take judicial notice that 50,000 hours is over 2,083 days and more than 5.5 years. I am informed by the film's production personnel that the footage consists of less than 150 hours.
When I tell you I died and came back to life, the court can take judicial notice. They lied to you. It's 150 hours. Blake could watch that in a week.
God.
And I love that he always put it italic, and consider she edited it. She should already know.
It's like McMahon being questioned by the Senate the other day. She said, hey, so where were we in our schooling system? What was our reading levels in 1979? And she was like, we were like way down on the totem pole. She's like, Miss, we were number 1. It's like, oh, shit. I stand corrected. Anyway, not to bring politics into it. It was just a funny moment.
All good. All right, let's see.
Is this a real Dave Neal or it's an impersonator?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. That is Dave. Hi, Dave.
What's up,
If
Dave?
Omar deposes me, I'd need a cigarette after. You need you need at least a pack. Oh my God.
Oh, cigars are on deck.
Maybe
Come
just
to
like
Miami. We have
cocaine
a
or
lot
something.
here.
Oh.
It's real Dave. Now I know
It's
it's
real
fake.
Dave. Well, wouldn't the
Now I
fake
know
Dave
it's
say
fake.
that?
Yeah, that's exactly what a
Mm.
fake Dave would
Would
say.
the fake
Hopefully
Dave
he's
say
feeling
no?
better, man. I heard he had a weekend.
Hi, Dave. All right, let's see. Where are we at here? We got through that. Let's see. Oh, by the way, the poll the other day was is which is more embarrassing? Me thinking when I was really high that the bowl of soup took 11 and a half hours 11 and a half minutes to heat up, or Gottlieb's 50K hours. It was like 70-30. I thought it was gonna be a lot closer than that, but I lost that poll, so mine was less embarrassing than theirs apparently.
I thought that was
Wait.
skewed. You were definitely cheated. Your soup should have won. That shit did not make
It
sense.
fucking should have. I didn't
Your
cheat.
soup- your soup should have
I'm telling
won.
you, it should have won.
Because
I
I
mean,
saw you were
logic and physics.
when I saw you post that.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh man. All right. Anyways, I am informed that filming took place from May 15th through June 9th, and then from January 5th through February 7th for a total of 37 days, 32 of which Miss Lively participated in. In any event, Miss Lively does not need to review the film footage prior to her deposition because she presumably knows when and how she was purportedly subject to sexual harassment during filming, and in fact sets forth those alleged instances in her detailed amended complaint. For good measure, it is undisputed that Miss Lively has seen the footage because she edited it.
I mean, conceivably, you can make an argument like, what if in the 150 hours, not 50,000 hours, but what if in the 150 hours, she notices things that tie into the behavior she describes of Baldoni that was acting inappropriate, like maybe taking like too long of a stare, and she tries to make that into a thing. I don't know, just playing devil's advocate.
That's kind of what they're
You're already
saying.
trying to
though,
make
like,
the suntan lotion thing sexual. Leave it up to her.
I mean,
She can make him say an action means some different kind of action. Shoot. Leave it up to her.
that's
I mean,
kind
I just look, if they want to review 150 hours of video, go for it. Let's just not pretend it's 50,000 hours, and let's not pretend that she doesn't know what's on there. If she wants to like cherry pick certain things and Photoshop it into sexual harassment, then go for it. Just know that we know that that's what she's doing.
So they said the 50,000 hours thing, and I gave them like the benefit of the doubt. I was like, this has got to be a typo. But then there was a declaration like this one from one of their other lawyers that said 50,000 again. They said, we spoke to tech people. And I was like, what tech people did you speak to that told you that?
They said that shit with their chest out. Like,
you need to get some new tech people. Like, who are you talking to?
Lauren, I know that you edit your videos. I used to edit my videos before I just started doing it all live. But when I would make a 1 hour video, that would literally take me 4 or 5 hours of editing.
Same, I hate it.
Is too much. I can't do this every time. I'm just doing it live every single time. I'm not editing anymore.
Like right now, the thing we're talking about, I filmed it at like 3:45, and it took me like 40 minutes to film a video that's gonna end up being 16 minutes.
Yeah, it's so much that goes into it. And there's people that are really good at it. Like, they do the graphic effects and all that kind of stuff. Like you watch Legal Eagle, like his stuff is so overly produced. I'm never going to produce anything like that.
I'm not a fan of Legal Eagle right now.
Oh, why? I don't know what happened. Who doesn't like that guy?
Legal Eagle was a big dick to Justin, so I'm not doing that.
Oh, all right. I don't know that story. So I'm just
kidding. You don't want to know? It's fine.
All right. Well, later we'll talk about it, I guess.
No, we won't. I'm going to go to sleep. But
fair enough.
After I go to the airport to get my stupid bag. Okay. Anyways, let's see. As for the Jones parties, it is unclear what relevance the film footage has to their claims for breaches of contract concerning public relations services or the defenses thereto. Neither Miss Lively nor the Jones parties moved to compel the production of the film footage by a date prior to the case plan's July 1st deadline for substantial completion of document production. The balance of the footage is expected to be delivered to opposing counsel this week. Lastly, the Wayfarer parties object to the portion of the motion that requests that the parties enter into a shared briefing schedule on unknown motions to compel document discovery. The court's individual practices has procedures for resolving discovery disputes. The parties have made frequent use thereof, and the court has efficiently resolved such disputes. The motion does not explain, for instance, if a discovery dispute exists now, why the parties would waste several weeks until August 1st to first bring the dispute to the court's attention. Furthermore, prohibiting the parties from continuing to utilize the individual practices for the remainder of July will inhibit and not accelerate the scheduling of depositions in the interim. Okay. So that's the end of that.
Well, my opinion has not changed. I think that what they're saying is reasonable. I don't think that they've demonstrated good cause for the judge to grant their motion. And if he follows his own precedent in this case, he's going to deny their motion. But since they're both in agreement on the extension for the deposition deadline, maybe he'll just do that. That makes sense.
Oh, and he said in this further down, he attached the original deposition request they sent Blake and everything, but I didn't get a chance to look at it.
That's what this is, yeah. It's, I mean, there's nothing really special here. It's just saying when they are noticing her.
No, but I love that when we initially were like, she didn't go to the deposition, people were like, don't listen to that. It's misinformation. You know what? No, I'm telling you, that lady didn't go. Do you know how quiet the blogs were? If she showed up to that deposition, we would have known. We would have known. She would have showed up in her Sunday best. We would have known. She would have made it known that she went.
Or maybe her Sunday worst.
You realize she's been quiet. You guys realize she's been super quiet since this entire like amended complaint thing. It's weirdly quiet. I'm telling you. Like my skin crawls from how quiet it is.
Well, I think a lot of that is just because like the spotlight is now focused on her allegations. Like we're not distracted by the other stuff and Baldoni's cross complaint. We don't have to worry about it now. Now that the focus is solely on her allegations, it's a little different now. And so I think that there's a reason why. There's a reason for the silence. I mean, a lot of that is because a lot of the shenanigans that have gone on back and forth. But it's just, it's notable they didn't do like a victory lap because, it's not over by any stretch.
That was really fucking strange, Yeah,
but so, I was fully prepared for like a victory lap though when they didn't file the amended complaint. I was ready for a lawyer to be like, "We told you it was fake and they didn't have any claims." But Michael got.
I mean, both sides kind of did this little silent, like maybe we're saying a little bit, maybe we're not. Exactly. It was kind of like odd. It's almost like the statements didn't come from them, but they did. It was very strange.
We never did get confirmation on that.
No, say it with your chest, bro. What you haven't had a problem with that before.
I just remember Baldoni supporters just being really, like they were in a funeral procession, for like a couple of weeks.
It was doom and gloom.
And it's like, hey, man, it's, and it took us a while to try to gather and understand. And, but there was a small contention, a group of lively supporters that were doing the victory lap for her and coming after Baldoni supporters in like a really public way. And, so they had their little moment in the sun. But look, now that we're done with all of that, it's not. I think that people thought that was
shit is over.
Now let's get to the real lawsuit. The real lawsuit is about the sexual harassment stuff and the smear campaign. So let's see it. Where are the receipts? And it's like I was saying, like way back in February, when Friedman dropped his Exhibit A, and we started to look into these allegations, and we felt a certain way about the lawsuit, and then we got distracted by what was a poorly pled cross complaint by Baldoni. And he made like a lot of wild allegations, and trying to make it all make sense was exhausting. Like Anita has a whole website devoted to the theory, which it makes sense if you read it, but trying to find that in the pleadings was difficult. Now you don't have to worry about it. And so now we're back to square one, which is focusing on her allegations. And I think that was the benefit of dismissing Baldoni's complaint in its entirety. Screw it. Let's just put it all back on them. Make her prove her case. Go forward with the deposition. Continue with the discovery.
I'm not going to read through all these emails, but obviously we're not available to conduct Ms. Jones' deposition on July 22nd. And then a day later they said, well, please let us know when you are available. And since July 2nd, it's been a week now, they apparently have not responded. Let's see. We are in the middle of noticing and scheduling additional third parties when they're trying to schedule with Blake Lively's attorneys. The Wayfarer party's deposition. So they were complaining that the Wayfarer parties only gave them like 1 or 2 dates, but then instead of giving them, proposals for different dates, they said, we're in the middle of deposing or scheduling depositions or for whatever, for third parties. Let's see. Please advise as soon as possible which of the below dates you would like to confirm. So they gave them these dates, and then they complained that they only gave them these dates. Like Blake Lively's attorney said they only gave them these dates, but they didn't counter it with anything. It's just like what's going on right here. So
Yeah, that's not how that usually goes.
Keep in mind, all the while, the Blake Lively team haven't even tried to you're mad at the options we're giving you. You're just not even. First of all, you're not responding to us. Forget about Stephanie Jones. She's acting like she's head honcho over here. You actually just answer the questions we have for you and be out of the way. But I feel like maybe now the Van Zandt situation is getting a little bit in the light. If I'm Stephanie Jones, I'm clenching my butt cheeks along with the Lively household.
My butt cheeks have been clenched for like a few months now.
Are coming together and just clench. They're dying over there. Because you have to be scared by now. Oh, he's back.
So the rest of these emails are they're saying pretty much stuff we already know. This is like when they were trying to schedule the tag depositions and then they canceled them. Let's see. All footage to be produced in this case, including the footage that may be used or relied on in Ms. Lively's deposition, will be produced by July 1st. We agree that the July 17th deposition date resolves the issues raised last week. So that was from Justin's side. Let's see. Okay, we agree to continue the deposition July 17th in New York. So somebody's going to be stalking that.
Do we think she shows up to that?
No. Sorry, I don't.
Her dry cleaners didn't have her dress ready or something.
She's got her reps out there talking to TMZ saying, "I'm so ready for my deposition." Why didn't you do it 2 weeks ago then?
I love when Brian Friedman was like, you know what? Let's sell tickets at Madison Square Garden for your testimony. I love that so much.
Yeah.
I would pay good money though. I'm not even fucking with you. I will pay good money.
Oh, dude, everybody would.
I mean, I hope we would get complimentary tickets, but if they were not giving complimentary tickets, I would go see that. I'll pay to see that.
Yeah, there's everything else there is pretty much the same. We've already seen it, and also just another copy of the notice of deposition there. So there's nothing new in those emails, from what I can tell. But I just wanted to skim through those really quick. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on behind the scenes here. Obviously, when I read when they were requesting the extension, and I looked at that and I was like, oh, this looks kind of bad. And that's always how it goes, isn't it? It's like it looks really bad, and then all of a sudden they come back and like, oh, by the way, these guys didn't try to work with us on any of this.
Yeah. So
I'm like, then why are you crying to the judge? Obviously, they're going to respond and say, hey, so these guys didn't give us alternate dates. These guys didn't do this or that. I'm like, well, so why are you crying to the judge about the deposition schedule when you refuse to work with the other side? So that's confusing to me.
Yep.
I don't know, but that's just me as a bystander. So
no, but I love that the Wayfarer parties are like, we just snitched on everybody. I don't care. You're all gonna get in trouble. I don't care. We're gonna tell on all of you.
I mean, that's certainly how it looks. Yeah.
I love that. It's like, yeah, I'm not gonna be diplomatic anymore, because like, why would you write the whole letter if you haven't even made an effort? We gave you dates, and then they specifically were like, the Wayfarer parties are trying to decide who goes first. They want Jimmy Heat to go. Like, if you're reading that and he's back. Cameras go. Wait.
Keep your face out of their shot.
You made no sound. You just appeared. What do you want? Here, take your little wristband. Your head is, bro. They're gonna. I
see the top of his head.
Go far away.
No, it's funny when my kids do the same. They just jump around on my lap. Like there's no stopping them.
No, he would do that. Like the whole time the camera was off, he was actually sitting on the back. You're gonna unplug the computer, then you'll be ashamed. Then everybody would say shame. Is that cool? Everybody say shame. He's looking at me like.
Well, actually, my bag's gonna be at the airport in 20 minutes, so I'm gonna have to go anyways now.
You didn't get your bags? You had to leave them behind?
No, because I was stuck in Houston on the tarmac for so long. I had to switch my flight. I was supposed to go to Phoenix and then drive here, and then so instead I just switched a flight. Instead of going to Phoenix, I just came here direct. But then my bag took the alternate.
Your circadian rhythm must be off.
I don't have one.
Her circadian rhythm. She don't even have kids. She doesn't get to have a circadian rhythm. How about that?
Well, I thought my circadian rhythm is off, but you're never at home. Like you're like never sleeping at the same time and everything. That's crazy.
No, I'm insane.
I mean, I never sleep at the same time anyway because of the tennis season. You would think I'm a player because I'm on whatever timeline the slams are in. Like if they're in Australia, I live in Australia in Miami because I'm up when they're playing. When they're in London, the same thing. London is a little bit easier. The Europe tournaments are easier on me because the time is not that bad. But anyway, that took a left turn. I have to, when we get off this, I have to edit the video I made about this to post in the morning.
Oh boy.
But
editing.
I recorded 40 minutes. I know, again, I'm going to post that video and it'll be 16 minutes. Because I reread like 10 things 10 different times because I was like hysterically like diaphragm laughing.
Oh god.
I wanted to answer. VPan had a question. It's starred. And she says,
thank you for the 5, by the way. Go ahead.
She says, legit question, Omar, do you think her lawyers are dropping a huge net, or do you think Blake is asking for 50,000 because she's delaying? Where is she asking for 50,000?
I think maybe they're misunderstanding the 50,000 hours to be dollars. The 50,000 is irrelevant. Like,
no, I was going to say, are they casting a wide net? Yeah. I mean, they brought up Rule 11 sanctions, motions to compel. I mean, generally, I guess the general answer to that question is yes. They are casting a wide net, not at all limited by their procedural motions. I think that, I mean, hell, they've subpoenaed everybody except for Lauren Neidigh.
And me, Omar. I'm pissed
and
about
Elsie.
that.
And Elsie.
I'm so mad. Like,
they got Candace Owens,
do?
they got Andy, did they subpoena Zach?
No.
Oh, they didn't? Oh, I thought
didn't get to Zach. But I'll tell you, Zach is putting himself in a comfortable lead to get one of those subpoenas after his solo cup.
They're casting a wide net for something.
The fake breast pump.
After his fake breast thing, he's definitely putting himself up to get one. No, but I'm so mad. I can't be recognized for my work, man.
Oh, when you catch a subpoena.
Maybe next video, I should say I have it on good authority.
Oh,
I heard directly from the Freedman.
Lauren, one day you will find out when you were subpoenaed.
Somebody's gonna clip this. I already know. It's gonna be on Twitter in the morning that I said the Wayfarer team told me something.
Yeah,
it's gonna be there.
If I ever get subpoenaed, I will send them all of my communications with Lauren Neidigh. And I hope it makes its way in his pleadings.
You have to send a filter.
That's such a mistake. Oh my god.
That is gonna be so nasty. No, Lauren, can you imagine if they got our group chat?
Oh god.
Wait, let me not give them ideas because now
I've done like everything but show my tits in that group chat. Like it's not a good place to be.
That's one more thing you can do before the subpoenas come. I would say do it before the subpoenas come so we can make the threshold of things.
I have it on direct authority from Brian Friedman that these are Lauren's tits.
Oh, Omar, while Jesus. I have you, I have this insane idea that I'm going to pray to get subpoenaed to be a witness, but I just want confirmation. They will have to pay for my travel, right? Like if you subpoena me to be a witness, you're responsible for my costs reasonably.
Yeah. No, okay. That's a thing. Like, for example, when I subpoena officers, I got to pay for their daily wages.
Great.
Or my client does. So yeah, they're going to be
responsible. We stand to make some dough. We stand to make some money.
I make so much money per day, and I know everything.
And this is how I'm going to answer every question so I can come back the next day to finish my testimony. Your Honor.
I'd love to be subpoenaed, but I can't, man. The airfare is crazy nowadays. Jesus.
I want to be subpoenaed so badly. So I
do not want to be subpoenaed.
Vacation for Elsie. Exactly. Everybody, when you go to bed at night, pray for that. That is your number one goal.
I
want a car service too.
Lauren is like a million texts calling Blake the C word. Yes.
Oh, Lord.
I would you like to include, in the keyword search, when they do the subpoena, it's going to have to say cunt. All right? That's all I want out of my life. Just for somebody to demand I search all communications relating to them that says cunt.
They're going to make you read it on a stand. Miss Neidigh, are these your words?
Yes, they fucking are.
Yes, they are.
Your Honor, do I have to say it out loud? Miss, they are your words. You have to say, you don't have
First Amendment, bitches.
You don't have to threaten me with a good time, Your Honor. I would gladly say these words 50 times on the stand. I swore on the Bible to tell the truth.
Yeah.
A good thing that this one isn't filmed.
Oh my God.
Oh, break the YouTube. That'd be bad.
Somebody says twat. I can't hear you.
Damn it, Jessica.
Oh. Exactly. I only fly first class. And even that's when there's no business available.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then the hotel has to be like, nobody has to know it exists, but it has to be like up there. Car service for sure, and security because obviously I'm LC.
5-star and up because you need accommodations.
Yeah, you know,
Luxury cars because you will not be seen in a Mini Cooper.
Exactly. Never that. I'm not English. No. I don't serve at the pleasure of the Queen. No. No Mini Coopers for me.
I hope they video it if they ask Lauren to be on the stand. First of all, that would never happen because there's no reason for that to ever happen. But second, if that were to happen, if I were to be subpoenaed, I would file a motion to quash pro se, and I would definitely use the word cunt a whole lot. And it would be so bad.
Redacted.
It would break all the tabloids.
Your Honor, permission to redact this entire motion.
You don't have my permission to redact any of that shit. You better show the whole damn thing.
Oh my God. This is pure jokes. Lauren, I told you I had 5 minutes, and you didn't even have the decency to kick me off after 5 minutes. You let me sit here and make a fool out of myself.
No,
for an hour.
Sadistic like that. She'll let you stay for as long as
you
can
know
stand
I
it.
have no self-control.
Yeah, well, I do have to go now, so we have to end now because I have to
Same,
go back
we
to
all
work.
have to go.
So. All right,
Anyway,
bye, everyone.
cheers, guys. Thanks
All
for
right, love you,
having
folks.
me.
Nice
I'm
meeting
gonna
you.
post a video explaining this if it's still confusing to people, but it's gonna be shorter. Maybe in the morning. You'll be up like 7 or 8. But Lauren, I'll text you. I'll let you know how the back situation goes. Thank you guys for having me. This was fun.
It was good.
I don't want to do it again.
If you're having the
No,
back,
we got to do it again eventually.
I'm completely lying. I want to do this shit again.
Yeah. I'm going to be doing my Brian Koberger roundup tomorrow.
I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Because that was some bullshit that they did. Because I really wanted to see that trial. But I mean, justice for the family. But the family is not into the whole plea deal. So I'm
no, they wanted him to get they wanted the death penalty for him.
Yeah. The unalivement.
But there's a reason why he pled guilty. I just scheduled my trip to hot ass Phoenix today. So did I. I'm so excited to see you all. No, I'm going to officially be there.
Yeah.
With Lauren, and who knows what's going to happen.
Right, dude. Thank you, Jennifer, for the 20. We appreciate you.
It is going to be like 110 degrees.
I'm not going outside. I'll get in the car. That's about it.
He said I'll get in the car.
All right, I gotta get an Uber and roll back to the airport.
Bye. They would deliver your bags to you? What kind of airline did you fly?
Well, they would, but it'd be tomorrow, and I have to work at 4:30.
Oh, you have to get your stuff today. Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Well, sue them. Tell them you know a good lawyer.
I don't.
Me? What are you talking about? I'm sitting right here.
Oh, no, that was a dig at Omar. I'm sorry.
I'm sitting right in your face. Get out of my face, Lauren.
Okay,
cool.
I will, because I got to go to the airport. See you.
Bye. Thank
I
you
love
guys
you
for
all.
having me.
You guys have a good
Love
night.
you. Thank you. Bye.
Love you too.